Okay. Absolutely has no filter. Definitely don't.
Talking about, man.
Let's blow the whistle, man. Go to one of the co-hosts of the whistle on the pregame show network, like I did that right there. Hey, we're gonna go
That
to my
wasn't pretty
main
good, too,
man
though.
out of South Georgia, doing it for you. Bulldogging dudes like them Georgetown Hoyas. Down South Georgia, boy, what's happening? Coach Pollock,
What's
what's
up,
up?
guys? How y'all
Mike
doing?
Beasley.
What's up, Coach?
We good, Coach.
Hanging in there, man. Just
Hey,
enjoying a little spring break in South Georgia.
That's right.
hey, Coach, I got it. Let me bring you up to speed in case you missed it while you was out there with Daddy. Like I said, Daddy, I try to say it like you said.
That's right.
We had somebody from your running back room on. Dallin Hayden was on earlier, and then we had Chef Carl Solomon on.
Yeah,
But nobody gets better than Mike P. We say the best
I
for
hear
last.
you, man. Often imitated, never duplicated.
That's right.
Yeah.
My main man. Girl dad also.
That's
Stepping up
right.
in this thing. How
That's
you doing,
right.
Coach?
I'm doing great, guys. I'm having a great spring. You know, we 2 weeks into practice, and now we get to enjoy a little week off.
Yeah, I saw the big bash you held up and sent a shout out to Coach Brian.
Hey,
You sure
listen, man.
you want to
He
start that
knows
fight?
what's up.
Hey, everybody, I want y'all to know that Coach Prime is not the only person on the Colorado football staff that can catch big bass. That's how we do it in Georgia, baby. How about that, Coach? I know you like it.
He knows what's up.
Coach, before we get started going through questions, I like to do this. Can you give us your coaching background and just talk about how you ended up with Coach Prime?
Yeah. I spent 28 years coaching high school football in the state of Georgia. You know, started off at Thomasville High School, had stops at Washington County High School, Cook High School, Valdosta High School, and then uh, America's High School, and then I got to Grayson High School, and I was the OC there. I met Coach Prime in 2016 when we had just won the state and national championship at Grayson, and we had 5 Under Armour All Americans. So I got invited down there to coach with the Under Armour All America game, and I met him there. He was our coach for our team, and we just hit it off right off the bat. And then I got invited back again the next year. As fate would have it, I was back on his team again, and you know we just stayed in contact. And he had told me that he was going to call me when he got a college job, and he kept his word. And I got the call in fall of 2020 to go to Jackson State, and I'm one of the OGs.
That's right.
I was there on day one, December
Right.
2nd, 2020. That's when it all started.
Yeah. And I think I met you on December 3rd, and you were sitting in the office drawing up plays.
Yes, absolutely.
And the first thing I said when I walked in the room, I said, "Damn, he already drawing up plays, and he got some good looking hair."
Hey, you know what? Listen, man, me and Neely got 3 conference titles when it comes to hair.
Oh,
We done won the SWAC, the Pac-12, and the Big 12.
Oh yeah,
that's all.
Coach. One of the things I love about we just had the Nike Elite High School coaches in. You're a former high school coach. Your relationship with Coach Prime started there. The general manager, Coach David Kelly, championship coach in Atlanta. His relationship with Coach Prime started when he was coaching high school ball in Atlanta. I know we use the portal. We love the portal. But I think people asleep on Coach Prime's relationship to high school coaches in that phase of recruiting.
Well, you know, I think so, and I think that because Coach Prime does things a little different than other coaches, you know, then you got people out there that have something to say about it, and but you know what, he does a great job recruiting high school kids. We do a great job recruiting high school kids. You know, we base our recruiting off our needs, and one thing that we need you to be able to do as a high school kid is come in and play right away. You know, we don't have to, we don't, and I think the landscape of college football is starting to lean towards that. You got to be able to play right away. And, I think a lot of people are copying our blueprint that we've set in that. So, yeah, we've got great relationships with high school coaches in Georgia and Texas and in Florida, especially, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, all those areas. And we're expanding out here towards the area around Colorado, the states around Colorado as well. So yeah, we're excited about the high school guys we've got that we're recruiting in 2026. I want to remind everybody, Shador Sanders and Travis Hunter were high school recruits. People don't think about that, and I know everybody thinks that well, Shador was prime son, so it was a done deal. We actually had to recruit him pretty hard. I mean, he was committed. He was committed to FAU, and he was locked in. And I remember I had to. We put together a whole presentation for him. Had a Zoom call with him, and really had to sell him on what we were doing, and it worked out, thankfully. And then of course the deal with Travis, I mean, like I say, he was a high school kid, and we changed the game with that one.
Coach, I got to tell you this quick story. It brought a smile to my face when you said that. I tell people all the time, I only know Deion Sanders because of basketball. And how that came about is when you guys were trying to recruit Shador to Jackson State, Coach asked the basketball coaches, hey, do y'all have a local alum that hosts people when they come and visit? And the women's coach and the men's coach both gave my name. So I actually knew Shador before I knew Prime because I hosted him on his visit.
There you go. Well, like I say, man, it's we like I said, we looking at high school kids, and as we've improved our roster through the portal, we're able to go after more high school kids now. But when we first got here, and even when we first got to Jackson State, it was just difficult to turn things around as fast as we wanted to if we went with a high school kid. So yeah, we were heavy in the portal, and we remain heavy in the portal, and also, another thing about recruiting high school kids now too is some of them's going to be in the portal in a year or two. So if you can develop that relationship now with them, when they jump in the portal, they'll remember that, and then maybe you got a shot to get them on the back end. So that's part of the recruiting high school kids as well.